that music. Welcome back to Campus Inside Out, episode 4. Today, we're unpacking something juicy gossip. Yep, we're finally going there. But before we start, let me introduce my crew for the day. Starting off with Rachel, our queen of spilling tea. What's up, Rach?
Hello everyone, and I don't do that, okay? So stop.
Yeah, sure. And then there's Jeet, who somehow manages to always stay above the drama. How do you do it, Jeet?
By pretending I don't hear half of the stuff. Ignorance is bliss, my friend.
That's a smart move. And finally, Lakshwarya, the girl who knows how to turn every rumor into a punchline. What's good?
Not much, except I heard that you were seen in canteen ordering double fries. Care to explain, Amog?
Right, anyway. Gossip. It's everywhere. In the college, at family gatherings, and even in your group chats. So let's start with the big question. Why do we gossip? Rachel, I'm sure you're dying to spill the tea.
Honestly, I think it's human nature. Gossip is like social glue. It connects people. Like, if I hear something juicy, my first thought is, who can I share this with? It's like a bonding activity.
True, but it's also a double-edged sword. Gossips can of course build connections, but it can also destroy them. Remember that time when someone started a rumor about me dating someone in my class? And God, it was awkward for weeks.
And then there's the funny kind of gossip. Like when your aunties sit around and discuss which Bollywood celebrity is dating whom, as if they're family insiders. That's entertainment, not damage.
That's classic aunties, but you're right. Gossip can be harmless or harmful. It's all about how you handle it. Which brings me to my next question. When does gossip cross the line?
Okay, when it stops being fun and starts being mean. Like, I remember hearing this rumor about a classmate, and it wasn't just untrue, it was cruel. That's when you realize how damaging gossip can be.
Exactly. It's one thing to share light stuff like, did you see what happened in the group chat yesterday? But when you're spreading things that could ruin someone's reputation, now that's a total no-go.
Sure, but it's subjective. What may seem too far to you may not be so for other individuals, and they may deem you sensitive for it. I think that's why it's important to bear in mind other people's feelings too, since we all have varying tolerance levels to what we deem funny.
True, but sometimes gossip takes a life of its own. Like I once joked about leaving my college, and the next day everyone thought I was moving to a different city. I was like, wait, did I miss the memo?
Well, that's the power of exaggeration. But in all seriousness, I think it's important to check your facts before you spread anything. Gossip is like fire. It spreads fast and can burn things down. Now, let's just lighten the mood. What's the funniest story you guys have been a part of?
So I've got a good one. Someone once started a rumor that I'm secretly married.
You are?
And well, that was all because I was wearing a ring my grandmother gave me. I went along with it for a week just to see how far it would go. And you guys won't believe me. By the end, people were even asking me for my wedding photos.
Okay, so once someone spread a rumor that my friend was dating a college professor because she stayed after class to ask questions. It was so embarrassing, but we all laughed it off.
Mine's a classic gossip. Someone said my brother's quitting college to become a stand-up comedian. So he actually did a mock farewell speech during lunch, complete with fake jokes about his comedy career. People still ask if he's moonlighting as a comedian.
Okay, well, jokes aside, how do you handle gossip when it's about you? Jeet, you always seem to take it lightly.
Humor works for me. If you laugh at it, it loses its power. But if it's serious, you have got to address it head on. Like, hey, this isn't true, and I would appreciate it if you don't spread it. Simple, but effective.
I agree. Ignoring it works sometimes, but if it's damaging you, you've got to set the record straight. Like when someone spread the professor rumor, she told everyone that's not true, and it's making things awkward. It died down after that.
She should have asked for a dowry. Right.
Don't feed the fire. If you engage too much, it grows. Just clear the air and move on. Speak privately with those involved to clarify misunderstanding. For example, if you hear that someone is spreading false information about you, go up to them and say, I heard this rumor and wanted to clear it up. Is there something I did to upset you? Most of the time, gossip stems from misunderstanding and it can be cleared by a conversation.
True. You can also politely steer conversations away from gossip topics. For example, if a friend says, did you hear what happened with X? You can respond with, couldn't care less. Are you done with your project? Because I need it for reference.
And I also believe that gossip in general is fun, but it's also a waste of time. And unless it's some serious career impeding or outrageous accusation that needs rectification, it's usually better to ignore it and focus on more meaningful pursuit. Because oftentimes when we take a bait and react emotionally to gossips, that is exactly what a perpetrator desires. Realize that 9 out of 10 times it's not the real problem and it's just noise.
Now, of course, people have different tolerance levels to this sort of thing, which is why I believe it's important to have friends or people you can rely on. And if you don't, that's okay. You can share your concerns in a confidential setting.
You could approach a counselor and say, I'm struggling with some rumors affecting me. Can you help me figure out how to handle this? Talking about your problems really lightens the burden on your shoulders.
And this applies for men too. Because look, to the men, I understand that perhaps you feel like society has pressured you to think that you cannot display your emotions and that you have to keep them bottled up to yourselves. And you gotta be a man. And I don't blame you for that. But trust me, it does not make you any less of a man to talk about your problems or issues that bother you. And that includes slander and gossip that may bother you.
Alright, guys, this was so much fun. Gossip is something we all deal with, but how we handle it makes all the difference. Whether you laugh it off or shut it down, the key is to stay true to yourself.
Before we wrap up, here's a little challenge for our listeners. Next time you hear gossip, ask yourself, am I adding any value or just adding fuel to the fire? Let's spread kindness, guys, not rumors. Thanks, Rachel, Lakshwarya, and Jeet for joining me here today, and thanks, Tushar, for the music. Catch you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.